Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So on today's video, I'm going to do something really interesting. First and foremost, I will speak with you about my top 3 income streams. Second, I will share some of the key lessons that you can take away from my strategy of building these income streams and incorporate it to make more money in your career. This is a very important concept for me to teach because one of the core goals of this channel is to not just improve financial literacy, but also help you make more money. That is like literally 90% of the battle won, because I get so many questions that Akshat, you know what, market is down, but I am out of money. What should I do? You should be earning more, and therefore you should listen to this video very carefully. Third and finally, I am going to do something which has not been done, which is that I'm actually going to tell you and disclose a very specific idea that I'm working on. It's a very simple digital business idea. I'm going to disclose it in front of you. And over the next 2 months, I'm going to build that business out and you can follow my progress on that. Very quick request, please hit the like button. No one shares these kind of strategies and we will get the video started. Also, a very quick shout out to our sponsors for today, which is TaxBuddy. Once you build multiple sources of income, you will have to pay a lot of taxes. And taxbuddy.com is a one-stop solution with your tax problems. They can help you reply to tax authorities, help you with your GST filings. Do check the links in the description box. There is a very special code for all of you, so you can avail that. Now, before I deep dive, just a very quick disclaimer that I'm not shooting this video from the point of view of boasting. That is not the goal at all. The simple objective here is for me to give you actionable advice that you can pick up and start incorporating to become financially free earlier in life and enjoy your life. So with that said, let me speak about my third most prominent income stream, which is through investing/trading. So number one, I invest in a range of different assets. For example, I invest in Indian stocks, I invest in US stocks, I invest in cryptocurrencies, I invest in real estate. Commercial real estate though, I don't own a house. And all these income streams give me cash flows also. For example, some years I sell my stocks. I had done a video very recently where I sold some of my stocks and made a profit of approximately 90 lakhs in 1 year. So I had done a separate video on that. You can go and check it out. Similarly, when I'm doing fixed deposits or if I'm getting some dividend incomes or if I have rented out my commercial real estates, then I'm making some cash flows from it. So this would be categorized as an investment income. How much total do I make? That is besides the point. I make a decent chunk from it. And there are 3 key learnings that I want to share with you. So the first key lesson is around the concept of holding power. So Nitin Kamath, a few days ago, he made a tweet where he said that 99% of traders, short-term traders, they lose money in the stock market and only 1% win. And one of the key reasons around that is that people don't have any holding power. What do I mean by that? I simply mean that, for example, a lot of traders, they have to cut their position. If they are buying, let's say, ITC today, and if they are intraday traders, then they have to cut their position by the day's close. So that kills your holding power. Similarly, a lot of people, a lot of students, they message me that Akshat, I want to invest in the stock market. Can I take a loan? Please don't do that because that reduces your holding power. If you are trading or if you're investing on loan, then you have to repay that, right, at some stage. And if the market is not up and you have no power to hold your loss-making stocks for, let's say, 6 months, 1 year, 1.5, 2 years, then it becomes a problem for you. Because what happens is that no one can predict the stock market in which direction will it go. Sometimes some really good stocks, even right now in the market, there are amazing stock buying opportunities. And I know that these stocks will go up, but right now they are just getting badly beaten down. An example, for example, here would be, and this is not an investment advice, for example, go and check Whirlpool's stock. Now, that is an amazing stock. There is nothing wrong with that stock, but the stock is not coming up for a wide variety of reasons. But does it make Whirlpool a bad stock to own? No. If you are an investor in that stock, should you just sell it and go away? The answer again is no, because it's a good stock. You should hold it, and you can only hold it if you're not a short-term trader or if you're not participating in the stock market by taking loans. So that is the simple concept of holding power. So in case you want to build investment or trading as your income stream, please do not reduce your holding power. So maybe I'll make a separate video on this topic, but I hope this concept is clear. Let's move on to concept number 2, that before buying any asset, be it real estate, cryptos, any type of stock that you are buying, you must categorically understand what you are buying and why you are buying this stock. Let me explain this by using the example of JP Power. Now, JP Power has become, unfortunately or fortunately, it has become one of the most talked about stocks right now in the stock market. I had given a recommendation on JP Power a couple of months back. Now, when I made that video, a lot of people said that, Akshat, you know what, you're recommending like penny stocks, really bad stocks, this, that. Now, here is where trading and investing logic comes into the picture, that you must understand that we were purchasing JP Power at that point in time because it was a value buy. We were not expecting it to become a great stock like HDFC Bank or a great stock like SBI Bank. No, this is a joke, not SBI Bank, but a bunch of other great stocks, right? So that was not the goal. We were simply purchasing JP Power because it was badly beaten down. It had done away with its debt. So it was only a matter of time that it would come back up. Now look at the JP Power stock and here is my holding on it. So I'm sitting on roughly 65-70% profit on it in a matter of couple of months. So if you want to become a better trader or an investor, you must understand why you are purchasing something and what precisely you are purchasing. If you are purchasing JP Power and start comparing it next day to something like Hindustan Unilever or Pidilite or Asian Paints, no, that is incorrect comparison. You're not even following what you are purchasing. Same goes for cryptocurrencies, same goes for commercial real estate, same goes for any asset or investment that you will be making in your life. So I hope this point is clear. Let me move on to point number 3. This is very important for anything that you will do in life, and the concept revolves around risk mitigation. Now, investing in stock markets, investing in cryptos, investing in real estate, all are what? All are very dangerous activities. Stock market in Hindi is called as Satta Bazaar, right? Satta Bazaar means that you are betting. It's a betting market. It's an organized betting market. So there is risk associated with it, and any sensible person, even when you're investing in businesses, even when you are starting your own business, even in your job, you must always mitigate your risk. So how do you mitigate your risk in the stock market? Now, a bunch of different techniques I have spoken about on my channel also, but a very quick recap of some important points here. 1, please stay diversified. Again, follow the principle of Ray Dalio. He's one of my favorite investors. I keep on talking about him all the time. He advocates diversification. Look at his portfolio. He's highly diversified. As retail investors, we need to be diversified. I keep on giving that message over and over again. Second key thing, if you're just starting out, then please be sensible. On day one, if you've just literally started out in the stock market, you go and look for 3 great penny stocks and invest your money in it. You're gambling. Your goal initially starting out is to mitigate your risk. So try to think from a long-term horizon perspective that you're not in the stock market to make money for the next 6 months only, right? You hopefully will be in the stock market for the next 30, 40, 50 years. So that is the goal with which you should operate. If you are in such a haste to make all the money that you possibly can make in 1 year time frame itself, then you will burn your hand and you will never return to the stock market. So therefore, risk mitigation principles, collect them, build your own theory, analysis around it, and then invest in the stock market. And these 3 tips, if you follow, you will end up making a lot of money as a trader/investor. You don't need to go to an MBA school to learn all these concepts. You just literally watch my videos and make notes. You will understand all these concepts. Now, the second source through which I make money is by investing in other people's businesses. So far, I have made 7 investments and I'm very close to closing in on 3 more investments this year. So that will take up the total to 10. Now you would say, Akshat, you are making all these private investments. How does it apply to us? How can we as retail investors make investment in other companies or other private companies? You can, right? And there are a bunch of methods to do it. I can make a specific video if there is enough interest as to how retail investors can make investments in startups, especially new age startups. But you can do it. There is a concept of Kickstarter, for example, where retail investors like you and me can come in and support these startups which are up and coming. Now, every Kickstarter has a different nuance altogether. Some have different investment rules. Angel List, for example, is very different. Tyke is very different. And bunch of other different startups are very, very different. So please be aware as to what specific Kickstarter you are becoming a part of to support these different startups. But can you invest as a normal retail investor in different startups? The answer is absolutely yes, you can do it. Number 2, is it risky? Yes, it is super risky. Please only invest your speculation money into it. So let me highlight this point again. Please invest only your speculation money, right? Very, very important. Let me tell you one more trick. These days, it is becoming easier to invest in ICOs, which is initial coin offering in the crypto domain. So in case you want to support blockchain-based startups, then you can go and invest via the ICO route. These are not private investments because these blockchain projects typically get listed on some exchange, but you are still entering very early into the game. Now you would say, Akshat, okay, this is very risky. Should I even do it? What are the returns like? So, okay, let me speak from some of my examples. So one of the companies in which I have invested in, now it is supported by ace investors like Mr. Kunal Shah. Now that company has already gone up by 8x in size, and I made this investment just a few months back. So with startups, there is a concept called as tail end returns, right? So tail end returns look something like this. So this is what the returns are. Either you will make 0 or you will make 100x, right? So this is typically the type of returns that you get. So in terms of investing in these high risk assets, what you need to do is that you need to spread your bets. So you need to invest in a range of different projects. So out of 100, even if 1 or 2 bets succeed, then they will cover the losses that you are making from the other 98. This is typically the VC model. This is how venture capitalists make investments. And on another note, I'm going to formalize my VC investing arms. So I'm looking forward to investing in some of your startups in case you're looking to raise financing. So I'll come out with a specific structure around it. Now, one of the key lessons that I've learned in terms of startup investing is that you must bet on teams, not ideas early on. Because what typically happens is that there is a concept of 0 to 1. Now 0 to 1 simply means that in the initial phase of a startup, things are just literally getting started from 0, right? You don't know whether that idea will find any traction, whether that product that is being launched, how it will be perceived by customers. There are too many ifs that are associated with a particular startup when it is trying to find something called as product market fit. Please Google it. Please read about it. Super interesting concept about PMF, product market fit. So therefore, you must go and bet on people because the idea need to undergo pivots. Pivot simply means that the idea or a business idea will go from X to Y to Z. It will keep on pivoting unless it figures out its fit. So you need smart people to be managing the companies early on from that particular perspective. This is called a 0 to 1, where the company is literally trying to grow. And the only way a company will be able to successfully pivot from X to Y to Z is if there are smart people involved in that company. So therefore, you must have heard several people, several investors say this phrase over and over again that, you know what, initially we look to invest in people, not ideas. And this is true for you as a retail investor also. If you are going to invest in an ICO, initial coin offering projects via blockchain, or if you are investing via any Kickstarter, look at a team behind a particular idea. This brings me to the third and final point about startup investing, that you must learn about startups. You must be really good at something called as canvassing. Now, canvassing simply means that you're looking at the entire landscape of an idea that you're interested in. So let's understand this from an example. So let's say that you're very interested in a fintech oriented idea and you feel that that idea is great and you want to invest in it. Now you must go and figure out what other competitors are doing. At least build that knowledge and then only pick that idea where you want to invest. Otherwise, you would not even understand what is happening and you would just unnecessarily try to ride the wave and invest in it because everyone is investing in it. So please don't do that. Please fundamentally learn about startups. Please do something called as canvassing. Very, very important from that particular perspective. Now, my number one income stream is business income. I make approximately 50 to 60% of the entire earnings that I'm making in a particular year through my set of businesses. Every year I experiment with a few businesses, and in the final section of the video, I am actually going to talk about one of the business ideas that I'll be experimenting with. And do you think that that idea will be successful? So let me first and foremost talk about 3 specific things that I feel are very important to run a business. Now, let me first and foremost talk about the concept of value add. Now, value add in simple terms means that let's say that I'm selling a course to you, right? And the course costs 20,000 rupees, right? But the value that you are deriving out of this course is, let's say, 30,000. This is the value that you are deriving and this is the price that I'm charging. Now, do you think that this is a good deal? And if the answer seems to be yes, then it means that I have a very good business in place. So the simple concept behind determining any business idea is the concept of value add, that if you feel that you have launched a product or a course or a book or any of that service, you simply need to give value by that particular business that you have created. A lot of people, almost everyone that I speak with, they keep on focusing on the price, right? That, hey, you know what, Akshat, I want to work with you for free. Why do you want to work for free? You should never work for free for anyone because you yourself are telling that in your eyes, you have zero value. I'm sorry, I'm being blunt, but this is what it indicates to a recruiter. So never go as a college student and tell that, you know what, please take me. I want to work for you as an intern at 0 rupees. That's a really, really bad way of trying to work as someone's intern. So please don't do that. Always focus on value, right? Focus on telling people what value you can create and try to increase your value. That is the goal. You should not focus too much on and bringing down the prices of everything. Let me give you another example. Do you think that Apple Computers or Apple as a company is a good company and the products that it launches are good products? The answer would most likely be yes. That you know what? Apple, great brand, love it. If I had more money, probably I'll go and purchase also. And why do you do that? Because Apple is not even trying to compete on prices. They are trying to compete on value. So always focus on value. That is literally the first key business principle that I can talk about. So that is theoretical gyan. So let me cover a very practical point now, which is that if you want to do your own startup, then you need to have a certain personality or build that personality. Very, very important. It's not as if that you're born with this personality. You can also build this personality. So what type of personality I'm talking about? So you need to be a 0 to 1 type of a person initially. This has to be there. There is just no other way. So what exactly is a 0 to 1 type of a person? Now everyone would have their own definition. My understanding of this would be that you must be a type of a person who is willing to work really, really hard. For example, I enjoy working really hard. I have no qualms in saying that openly. I encourage others to work really hard. Second, you should be a problem solver. For example, when I don't know about a topic, I'm willing to gut it out. I'm willing to fight it out. I'll go read it, understand it, and try to build businesses out of it. It's not as if that, you know what, this new thing is very complex for me to understand. So let me also not spend any time in terms of doing it. Or my personality is like this only, that I don't understand math or I don't understand physics, this, that. No. If you want to build a business and if you feel that certain area or field is very, very important, you will have to go fight it out, learn about that field, and then start a business in it. So that, according to me, in simple words, is what a 0 to 1 person looks like. That they are very hardworking and they are willing to fight out no matter what the situation is. So now comes the third point that, hey, what about resources? Because to start any business, I need ton of resources. Wrong. You don't need much resources to start a business nowadays. Let me give you an example. So roughly 4 years back, I started a company called as My MBA Journey. I own 100% of that company now. And last year, our run rate was roughly 2 crores in profit, which is good profit. I started that company as a one-man person and spending 7,000 rupees on a website. Now, that's it. That's all the resources that I needed. But now, many of you would say that, Akshat, you went to INSEAD, therefore you were able to create such a business. Yes, because resource means financial resources. So I briefly commented on it. And then there are non-financial resources also. For example, you might be a great coder. So that is a non-finance resource for you. You might have spent some money in the past to get to that stage. But the point is that that is your inherent skill. Your inherent skill could be that you are a CA. Your inherent skill could be something else also. So try to leverage both financial and non-financial resources to figure out what resource you might need to start that business. And in majority of the cases, resource is not a major constraint. If you need more money and if you have great idea, if you're hardworking, then people will support you. People will make investments in you. That will not be a problem. Now, majority of the people do not have very well thought out ideas and therefore they are not able to raise money or make that business very organic in nature. I can talk about this concept for 2 more hours and the video will become really long. So from that perspective, let me move on to a case study as to which business I'm going to start next and why. So the next business that I'm going to build in the next 1.5 to 2 months and make it live is called as My MBA Journey Reworked Model. So I'll think of a better name. You guys suggest what name I can keep for this particular website. So what is the business model that I'm talking about and why I feel it will be successful? So let me quickly take you through that. One, a lot of students in India want to study abroad for a wide range of reasons, from learning perspective, too much competition in India. They just want to go and experience. So this field of studying abroad is gaining prominence. This is a fact that is happening in the market. Second key thing, that when you are trying to study abroad, what would happen is that you will have to go and figure out information that, hey, should I be applying for a Harvard MBA? Should I be applying for an INSEAD MBA? Or should I be applying for Harvard Kennedy School for an MPP? Bunch of different confusion points you would have. So what you do is that you go and hire private consultants. And over the last few years, this market has become extremely expensive. Let me show that to you. So I will show you the website of one of the most popular admission consultants in the world. And here you will see that their junior deluxe package and deluxe package cost like $4,500 and $2,500. So if you convert this into rupees, to apply to one business school abroad, they are charging $4,500, which is 3.5 lakh rupees. This is madness and this is just too much money that is being charged for the value that is being offered. So I see a massive opportunity to add value in this market. How? by building a simple pre-recorded modules for study abroad courses. What specifically I would be doing? Very happy to share my idea. So I will create a series of modules, for example, how to write your applications, how to pick a college, how to get your recommendations done. I can show you samples, all that stuff. Now, many of you would ask me that, Akshat, you know what? Do you even have a background? These people who are charging 3.5 lakh rupees to get one school done, how are you going to compete with them? Do you have any qualifications? The answer is yes. So let me comment on personality and resources. One is that the company that I run, my MBA journey, it has helped students study abroad at top elite colleges. It is probably the only admission consulting firm for which you will find a YouTube channel where real people are giving video testimonials. Number one, I myself have a background in writing. I was a professional writer and my book also comes out this year. And I used to write a lot of speeches for a cabinet minister. So that is my background. Third, I myself have lived abroad, studied abroad. So I understand the space. So I have the resources to do it from that particular perspective. And what will be my precise value add? That instead of charging 3.5 lakhs, I will do it at a fraction of a price. This is how you identify business opportunities and create new businesses out of it that are value adding, that improves customer experiences, and that allow you to create a good name in the process. Do let me know about your feedback about this idea. Of course, given the constraints on YouTube that I can't shoot a very long video. If you want, I will come out with a separate video on the businesses that I'm looking to start and go in much more detail. But I hope you got the sense that if you're looking to start a business, what are some of the key things that you need to keep in mind? So this was a deep dive into 3 of my prominent income streams. Now, many of you would ask me that, Akshat, what about YouTube? You are on YouTube, we see you through YouTube. So is that not a major income stream for you? And are you not a full-time YouTuber? The answer is no. It is not a major income stream for me, and I'm not a full-time YouTuber. Almost 70% of my time goes into running my own businesses, and I spend 15 to 20% of my time doing YouTube. Then you might ask me that, hey, how is it that you're able to release like one video a day? So that's a slightly different conversation for a different topic altogether, which is about optimizing your day, being super efficient in what you're doing. That is something that I'll cover on some other video. But do press the like button. That will indicate to me that you appreciate these type of videos also. And I will see you the next time.